This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Biden has unveiled a plan to keep Medicare from going belly up. In an op-ed in today's New York Times, White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy has our top story.
With experts saying risks insolvency in the next 3 to 5 years, the president proposes to extend the life of the program for a quarter century, mainly through what he calls a modest tax increase on the wealthy. Mr. Biden's proposal would raise the Medicare surtax on high incomes from 3.8% to 5%. With that extra funding, the president says Medicare could cap out-of-pocket costs for certain generic drugs at $2 a month.
Still no sign of 4 Americans attacked and kidnapped Friday after they crossed the border from Texas into Mexico. Correspondent Omar Villafranca is in Brownsville.
Matamoros is a city with more than 500,000 people in the state of Tamaulipas. The U.S. Embassy has warned of dangers there due to drug cartel violence, crime, and kidnapping.
The travel advisory for Tamaulipas state remains at level 4.
Some are calling on the Biden administration to put more pressure on the Mexican government to help.
A United Airlines passenger is under arrest after cell phone video captured him attacking a flight attendant after she tried to stop him from opening an emergency exit to jump out of the plane going from L.A. to Boston. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg.
When you interfere with a member of a flight crew, and by the way, that could be as simple as not obeying their command to acting out physically against them, you're in violation of a federal law.
Fellow passengers held the man down until they landed at Logan Airport. CBS News has learned Justice Department lawyers could file a lawsuit as soon as today to block JetBlue's proposed merger with Spirit Airlines. It would create the 5th largest airline in the country. JetBlue CEO Robin Hayes tells CBS Mornings.
What we're trying to do is make a bigger JetBlue to bring the JetBlue brand, the JetBlue product, the JetBlue people, and the JetBlue fares more nationally than we can do today.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin made a surprise stop in Baghdad. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
He's the senior-most official in the Biden administration to visit Iraq and his anniversary of the U.S.-led invasion there. And Austin said the U.S. is committed to keeping its military presence there.
The U.S. forces are ready to remain in Iraq at the invitation of the government of Iraq to support the Iraqi-led fight against terrorism.
New large study details symptoms in long COVID patients infected early in the pandemic. It finds they're 36% more likely to have long-term gastrointestinal problems like stomach pain, constipation, diarrhea, and vomiting. This is CBS News.
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Liberty Bridge is your gateway to work, school, downtown, and the Midland Street Business District. Enjoy all the benefits of Liberty Bridge for free until April. Save time and most convenient route to your destination. Avoid congestion at other local bridges and experience Bay City's newest, most reliable bridge. Brought to you by local union workers and Bay City Bridge Partners. For your passport to the lowest rates once tolling begins, get your BC Pass before April at BayCityBridgePartners.com.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
EFPTOZ.
What are you doing?
Testing my doubler vision.
Doubler vision?
So I don't miss the doubler message on my daily games tickets.
For a limited time, Michigan Lottery is printing doubler messages on random daily 3 and 4 box and two-way tickets. If your winning ticket has it, you double your prize winnings.
Ooh, move over.
Hey.
EFP. You can play at this game.
Don't miss daily 3 and 4 doubler days from the Michigan Lottery for a limited time this month. Knowing your limits is always the best.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 30 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Barcia. The Clare County man has been missing since December, and police are asking for help locating him. 60-year-old Jihad or Jake Andon Nasser was last seen by neighbors in January. His family became concerned when he failed to show up at his mother's funeral in February. He's known to have family in the Dearborn Heights area. Nasser has dark brown eyes. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call the Mount Pleasant State Police Post at 989-773-5951. Michigan Senator Gary Peters was at the Saginaw Fire Department yesterday discussing legislation to renew critical fire grants. Peters' legislation would renew the Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response, or SAFER grant program, the Assistance to Firefighters Grant Program, or AFG, and the United States Fire Administration, USFA. The programs are set to expire and are used by local fire departments to address staffing needs, purchasing equipment, develop fire training, plus improving emergency medical services. Peters says the grants have helped the Saginaw Fire Department purchase an upgraded Jaws of Life.
To be able to use the Jaws of Life, and that particular piece of equipment was purchased using these fire grants back in 2016, about a $60,000 grant used to provide equipment and support materials for the Jaws of Life.
The fire department and many others rely on those federal funds to purchase critical equipment and maintain their staffing levels. The city of Bay City will celebrate St. Patrick's Day for an entire week leading up to the March 14th parade. The special proclamation during Monday's City Commission meeting, the week of the March 13th to the 19th, was dedicated as Irish Week, and citizens of the community were invited to salute the Irish, especially during the 68th annual parade. The proclamation also recognized this year's parade marshal, Agnes B. Rader. WSGW News Time 9:07.
For almost 25 years, Linex has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Linex have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoating of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty. No yearly touch-ups required.
And because their rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Linex is located on Wilder Road in Bay City. Give them a call at 989-671-9820.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820. That's 989-671-9820.
WSGW News Time 9:08. The weather forecast is next. 3 Michigan State University students wounded in the February 13th mass shooting on campus are progressing but have long roads ahead in their recoveries. Michigan news sources Cheryl Fritz has this report.
According to recent updates to their GoFundMe pages, Guadalupe Haupila Perez is taking short walks and beginning to eat more after being shot in her stomach area, according to her sister, who posted an update. Statley was in critical condition with a severe head injury as of last Monday. John Hale, who was paralyzed from the chest down following a bullet wound, was improving as of February 23rd, but the cost of his future is high. The 3 students are among 5 who were hospitalized at Sparrow Hospital with critical injuries after a gunman fired shots at Berkey Hall and the MSU Union, killing 3 students. For Michigan News Source, I'm Cheryl Fritz.
It's maple syrup season, and it's big business for Michigan. The state ranks 5th in the nation for maple syrup production with an economic impact of $6.95 million. Farms across the state are hosting events and demonstrations to open the season. Kirk Heading with H&H Sugarbush says the process is just how you imagine it.
Any type of maple tree, you can drill a hole in it, put a spile or a tap in that, basically to help you gather that sap. Sugar maples have a tendency to give you a little bit higher sugar content to start off with. Red maples, silver maples, you can make maple syrup out of their sap also. and actually the box elders in the maple family also.
WSGW News Time 9:10. I'm Mike Pritchett.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Clearness early today, sunshine for this afternoon. Highs top out near 38 degrees. Winds north-northeasterly 5 to 15 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight, mostly clear. Lows drop to 23. Winds north 5 to 10. Wednesday, an abundance of sunshine. Highs make it into the middle 30s. Winds north-northeast 5 to 15. Higher gusts possible. Wednesday night, clear to partly cloudy. Lows fall back to 26. And then Thursday, it becomes mostly cloudy and highs reach 34. This is meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now it's 26.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. On 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Indeed. Our show sponsor, Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Newly expanded showroom and new product lineup, too. They have countertops now in both quartz granite. You'll find it all at Westside Decorating Center. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we're going to talk to Bay County Executive Jim Barcia. And then at 11 o'clock, we're going to find out about the Bay Area Fencing Alliance. Before that, though, this hour is open phones at 989-752-6111. Talk about a number of things this morning. I want to start out with presidential politics. Why not? I think that it's interesting on both sides of the aisle. The former president and the current president are both losing ground within their party. President Trump spoke at CPAC recently to a half-filled room, not something he's accustomed to. And Joe Biden is running at a 37% he should run again among Democrats. 53% want somebody else. And 10% apparently are not in the game. One of the names, and I chuckle at this on one hand. I worry about it on the other hand. One of the names on the Democrat side that keeps coming to the forefront is Michelle Obama. Now, she has vehemently said in the past she has no interest in candidacy, but many politicians have said that before and changed their mind at the last minute because they were persuaded that it would be good for the country. As a political observer, favoring neither side of the aisle during this discussion, I look at the potentials. And so let's take a look at a couple of potentials. Trump versus Biden in 2024. In other words, a replay of the last election. In my humble opinion, as an observer and nothing more, I would think Trump wins this time. If we change the players, DeSantis versus Biden. Keep Biden in the picture for now. I think DeSantis wins. Now let's change the players on the Democrat side. Let us say Biden is out and Vice President Harris runs. In my opinion, she loses to whoever the Republicans put up. And now let's put the picture in a different frame. Michelle Obama is convinced to run for the presidency. In my opinion, she wins against whomever the Republicans put up. Now, that's just a political observation, not based on any polls, facts, figures, or anything like that. It's a gut feeling. But she would really stir the waters. And in the same way that Trump won in 2016 because he was a unique character whose policies looked pretty good to many Republicans and others. And he was, a bit of a caricature and bombastic and all of those things. I think the American public would get behind Michelle Obama. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not talking about hardcore Republicans and that, but they don't represent the majority, and neither do hardcore far left Democrats. Most people in this country live in the middle. Many aren't even registered with one party or another. And those are the people you go after because they determine the election. Which way do the moderates swing? Which way does middle America go? In my opinion, Michelle Obama would be an attractive candidate to the middle. Young enough. Certainly, she has the ability to express herself in a way similar to her husband. I mean, let's face it, Barack Obama came on the scene 4 years before he was elected president when he addressed the convention, Democrat convention, and he was articulate and he delivered a powerful speech. Whether you agreed with all of what was in it or not, it's not the point. But he was able to capture the imagination of a lot of people. His wife has many of those same qualities. I'm not talking about her political positions. I'm only talking about the superficial side of elections. And let's face it, a lot of voters vote on superficial issues. Oh, he's a good-looking guy. He speaks well. Yeah, I think I'll vote for him. She's a good-looking woman. Seems intelligent, bright, articulate. I'll vote for her. Regardless of their positions. Doesn't matter. So if I'm a Democrat and I'm looking for a sure bet, I would put my money on Michelle Obama. Again, I'm not discussing her philosophies or anything else. I'm discussing her ability to win an election. She has what is called the it factor. As so many political types have. As much as I don't like Alexandria Cortez, I can't even say her name now, AOC, in her district in the Bronx in New York, she had the it factor. Attractive, articulate, bubbly, all of those things. So you know that a good portion of her votes came on that. Not because she was a far left progressive or anything of that nature, but just the way she presented herself, who she is, and how she speaks, and how she looks. Cannot discount the uneducated voter who votes on issues or not issues, but on the view of an individual and don't give a hoot about the issues. They vote for the individual. And if you discount that group of people, you are destined to lose. Because they represent a sizable voting bloc in this country. So let's see who comes forward with the it factor and how that plays out in 2024. Do I think Michelle Obama will run? Well, if I take her at her word, the answer is no. If I take her at her word. If, however, she falls prey to the same thing many politicians have fallen prey to, coercion from their party, a push from good friends and relatives and spouses, people are subject to change their mind. It's happened before, it'll happen again. But I think for the Republicans, Michelle Obama would be the worst nightmare against anybody the Republicans put up. The only one I think that would have maybe a chance against Michelle, and that's a maybe, is Ron DeSantis, because he's slowly but surely developing that it factor. Be an interesting election. It would be an interesting election. I think it would be interesting if Michelle Obama got in the race, period. I mean, that certainly would draw public attention to the race. There's been talk among Democrats on bringing back some of the candidates, for example, Hillary, but she's no spring chicken. She also carries a lot of baggage. And I don't, in my personal opinion, I don't believe she's electable. And remember, when a party chooses a candidate, it's because of the electability of the candidate. Whether the general voting populace votes on superficial issues like looks, speech quality, and all that, or whether they actually vote on the real issues. Parties don't care. They're looking for a winner. They will pick whoever they think is going to win, which is why I don't think they'll go back to Hillary Clinton or any of the others. It's why they will not nominate Vice President Harris. They don't view her as a winner. Democrats don't view her as the ability to win. But Michelle Obama, that's a whole nother story. Anyway, just thought I'd talk about that a little bit this morning. You got some views, give us a call, that or anything else, 989-752-6111. Toll free 866-790 WSGW.
The HVA of Saginaw is proud to host their annual home show March 18th and 19th, once again at the SVSU Rider Center, sponsored by Builders First Source. Our exhibitors are sure to match your remodeling or building needs. Enter raffles, prize giveaways, and a scavenger hunt. New this year at 2 p.m. on Saturday. Watch it. Construct mini homes. Join us March 18th from 9 until 7 and March 19th from 11 until 5. Visit SaginawHomeshow.com for more information, including how to get a discount on your entry fee. Choose Garber and you become a part of making better happen, and your vehicle won't cost you a penny more with Garber's low price guarantee. Mike Raj, president of Junior Achievement, joins us. Mike, how are the opportunities for kids now getting even better through JA?
We're really excited about what JA USA is calling the next mile. Typically, we're kind of done with students at the end of high school, but now we're looking at 18 to 25-year-olds and incorporating our programs with them as well. Going to the college and learn about paying back college loans, getting into a home, setting up a savings account, things like that. We are going to be able to provide programs for that as well.
Mike, the pandemic seemed to really set some kids back. Can you explain how Junior Achievement can open the door to better opportunities?
Yeah, I sure can. I think COVID made life difficult for a lot of families, and we're some schools that lower socioeconomic kids in the schools, and our programs are making them see that life can be better for them. If they do focus on working hard finding the right job, they can make a better life for themselves and their family in the long run.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garver.
Expect our information in real time. U.S. Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide of blood glucose levels. U.S. Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 800-730-8405 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check. As easy as, that's 800-730-8405.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Investors are moving cautiously ahead of Fed Chair Jerome Powell's testimony to the Senate Banking Committee today. Powell is expected to deliver cautious response to strong economic activity that could lead the Fed to continue raising interest rates to get inflation under control. Salesforce shares are gaining. The business software company says Einstein GPT will be used to provide artificial intelligence for sales, service, marketing, commerce, and information technology interactions with customers. Dick's Sporting Goods shares are higher. Its earnings for the holiday quarter were better than expected. It's raising its dividend. CEO Lauren Hobart offered a more optimistic outlook for the year, saying it will grow sales and earnings partly by expanding stores. That's your Fox Business. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
A good work partner knows what you need before you need it. That's how it feels when you work with Cintas. Your dedicated Cintas service reps get to know your business and have the industry knowledge that can help you prepare for what's ahead. They'll deliver your team's workwear freshly laundered. Make sure your first aid and safety supplies, mats, mops, and towels are stocked when you need them. And your fire extinguishers are inspected and in working order. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
The WSGW Morning Team.
WSW Online poll is about student loan forgiveness. The Supreme Court will rule on President Biden's plan, which would cancel up to $20,000 debt for millions of qualified Americans for an estimated $400 billion. Actually, there are two cases going on. The primary case says the plan exceeds the legal authority of the president by spending money not authorized by Congress. Another case is believing that the administration is unfairly excluding some in his plan. So if the court rules in favor of either case, the loan forgiveness plan would effectively end. However, if the court dismisses these cases, the loan forgiveness could continue. But our poll question for you is this. If you were a Supreme Court justice, would you rule to end or would you rule to continue student loan forgiveness? You are a Supreme Court justice. You cannot vote, I'm not sure.
There's no undecided?
No.
If they decide not to really do anything, isn't that their way of saying, I don't know?
Thanks, Pat. Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and make your vote that way.
Your morning team, Charlie, Denise, and Pat, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
On the next monthly Van Camp and Robbins show,
Joe Biden needs an escalator.
I'm not disagreeing, but why?
His least favorite season is fall.
Mark Lee. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here at WSGW, and we'll go to our phones this morning, and that's where we find Errol. Good morning, Errol.
Good morning. Before I start with that, find the alligator that tangled with an elephant. He had a bad tooth day. His head was remodeled when the elephant got done. But anyways, getting to the political, I like the former governor of South Carolina. I think she is smart, and I think she would be a great candidate.
I like her too. Nikki Haley we're talking about, but
Yep.
right now anyway, it's I mean, we had a long way to go to the election, so I know polls don't mean much, but she's at the bottom of the four people that I'll tell you what surprised me at the CPAC, which was half empty. Trump won the day in their straw poll, which was not a surprise. DeSantis came in second. But what surprised me was Perry Johnson came in third with 5%, and she was behind Perry Johnson with only 3%. And I'm going, what?
Yeah, that kind of surprised me too. Well, what did I hear this morning? Was it the Israelis uncovered all these secret accounts that Trump has all over the world? Interesting. Isn't there anything in that?
Well, no, it was. I don't know if it was Trump. It was Trump supporters that had these accounts that do the bots and stuff like that. I don't know.
Isn't there anything we can do to keep him from running for office?
Huh? Say that again.
I said, isn't there anything in our Constitution that would just stop him from even running?
Yeah, if he gets convicted of a crime. And if he's indicted, I'm not sure if that even puts a hold on it. But if he's convicted, then he can't run.
Okay. Over here, my daughter lives in South Carolina. She's going to quit talking to me because she doesn't like it, but that's all right. She lives in South Carolina. I live in Michigan. So, anyways, I do like her, and I like the way she was how she was when she was at the UN, well-spoken, knowledgeable.
Yeah, I've always liked her.
So far, I haven't seen anyone else. Well, maybe the governor of Florida. I would vote for him too.
Yeah, DeSantis.
Yep. Yeah.
So what happens if Michelle Obama wins? What happens if Michelle Obama runs?
I still have mixed about her run. I don't think she would.
I don't think so either, but it was a what if. It was a what if.
Pardon?
It's a what if. What if she runs?
She's seen all the stuff that goes on when her husband was president. Does she really want that life at this time in her life? Want that
well, I don't know. I mean, that's but that's what I said earlier. She said many times she's not a candidate. But many people have said that, and many people have changed their minds.
Well, she's got that, but I'm not sure. Well, there may be some other people come along also. But anyways,
yeah, you never know.
Go find the elephant, the alligator.
All right.
Talk to you.
Good enough.
Bye.
Bye, Earl. Now, I think the Michelle Obama case is a long shot. I understand that, and I'm happy for that. That's beside the point. But just remember, historically, many, many people have said, I'll never run. I'm not a candidate. And then they do. Well, I'll give you a perfect example. Joe Biden didn't come out swinging right away. He had to be talked into it. Because originally, he wasn't a candidate. So anytime you think that it's a sure thing that somebody won't run, don't kid yourself. You never know. Politics makes for strange bedfellows, and it's just it's way too early to tell. I mean, if what happens is, and I think to some degree this happened with Biden, if the party looks at their slate of primary candidates and doesn't feel confident that whoever's topping the poll would win, they will look elsewhere. They will look to a Biden as they did. They could look to a Michelle Obama and That's where the coercion happens. They'd probably go after Barack Obama to convince Michelle Obama. We're going to take a break, come back. We'll get to Scott and Saginaw when we return here on WSGW.
Don't wait until spring to make your money grow. Right now, you can spring into an 18-month certificate account at APY. Yes, 5% APY. Let your money grow at 5% for 18 months with Capocco Community Credit Union. Start investing it today, and Capocco will help your money grow faster with the best financial support. Short-term certificate accounts available for a limited time. Visit capocco.org for more information or talk to a member service representative today. APY is annual percentage yield. Some restrictions apply. Federally insured by the NCUA.
At Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, an evening with James Taylor.
Oh, I've seen fire.
Friday night, June 23rd, part of the Soaring Eagle Summer Outdoor Concert Series.
How sweet it is to be loved by.
On sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office at etix.com.
Oh, Mexico, you got a friend.
James Taylor, Under the Stars, June 23rd at Soaring Eagle Casino.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell. Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to three key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-63 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is from Mid-Michigan Garage Door in Midland. You're going to get half off a garage door tune-up. That's a $100 value for just $50. The tune-up includes a full lubrication of your door, spring tension and opener chain adjustment, and an inspection for possible future issues. Only valid for residential garage doors within a 50-mile radius of their Midland office. Head over to RocketGrabPlus.com to snag your deal before they run out.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and we continue on. Let's talk to Scott in Saginaw. Scott, good morning.
Hey, morning. I just kind of wanted to comment on the last caller there. It's amazing how so many of these people are so concerned with Donald Trump. He's not even president. But yeah, let's take a look at maybe the last 40 days of things that have taken place. We had a spy balloon from China fly over our country. Our administration come out and said, well, that balloon flew off course. It was by accident.
Yeah.
Just the other day, we had a Border Patrol agent half to death down in Arizona. Nothing from the White House on that. We have a police training camp being attacked by American citizens. Yeah, a few people being arrested, but nothing again from our White House. 4 Americans being taken hostage just within the last few days. This has happened again. I think this is the 3rd or 4th time now where hostages have been taken where they've been taken hostage under this administration.
Whoa. Stop, Scott. I'm agreeing with you on everything, but let's not, you can get carried away blaming the administration for everything. The drug cartels, just a minute, Scott. The drug cartels and the drug wars in Mexico are legendary. They've been there long before this president came to office. And that particular area those 4 people went into have been called, what are they, Schedule 4 areas, the worst in the world, where you're not supposed to go. So, if you want to blame the president for a lot of things, you can, but make sure that you really can blame him for that. You really can't, because that's been around a long, long, long time.
All I said is let's take a look at things that have been taking place.
Yeah, I know, but what that leaves the impression that it's this president and this administration's fault. I'll agree with you on almost everything except that.
Well, I don't want to get too far off track. I mean, I think it was 17 American Christians were taken hostage in Hades there.
Yep.
The president did nothing. Then the basketball star, she was taken. Well, then he turned, the world upside down to get her back.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't really want to get off on the rabbit trail.
Yeah, but I understand it, and you're right on almost all those.
And then something else here, the New York Times is reporting now that Iran may be days away from a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
And then we have Iran, Russia, Korea maybe coming together to form some kind of alliance. And meanwhile, we have people smoking fentanyl on the transit system in Portland, and the Democrats there are saying, well, there's no proof that the fentanyl smoke will actually hurt people, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, check this. She said it's actually a good thing that they're doing this in the public, so that way if they OD, somebody's there to help.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, here's another one, too. Here's another one. You forgot this one. The Chinese foreign minister, a guy by the name of Qin Gang, warned Tuesday Beijing and Washington are headed for a conflict and confrontation if the U.S. doesn't change its course. Struck a very combative tone. It's another area of the world where I think Trump did a far better job.
Yes. So again, I just wanted to point these out that instead of let's looking at how we can arrest Donald Trump, why don't we now find out how can we come together as Americans and try to help secure this country? That would be the better thing than pointing out how can we still get Donald Trump in jail?
Yeah, well, you got to remember the Democrats are saying you're going to give up on Hillary Clinton someday. It works both ways. But I hear what you're saying. And as a country, we need to worry about the country. But right now, anyway, I don't see that happening. I just I do not see that happening.
And here's one more. Mayorkas the other day said the reason that they can't find the people doing vandalism to pregnancy centers is because the people are crafty and they're doing it at night. And if anybody's got any information, please give it to the FBI.
Oh, yeah.
And the great thing about this is the people doing it is writing Jane's Revenge on the wall while they're destroying it.
Yeah, they know who they are. Yeah, well, it's...
I just wish these people would pay attention to what's actually going on instead of looking in the past. Donald Trump isn't in office. Let's just concentrate on today and trying to secure our children.
Well, yeah, but let's face it, the Democrats look at Trump as their biggest threat. And that's why this is happening. And you know that, and I know that.
Well, see, the thing is Donald Trump isn't. China might be our biggest threat.
Well, I agree with you on that, but they're talking politically.
Oh, I know it, and that's too bad. They should be focused on the bigger picture.
Yeah, you and I are going to agree totally on that. All right.
I'm going to get rolling.
Scott, thanks. Bye. Have a great one. Bye-bye now. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111, toll-free 866-790-WSGW. And, both sides play the game. the political game, because in the bottom line is he or she who has who wins has the power. That's the bottom line. Without winning, you don't have the power. Now, the president is making all kinds of noises about raising taxes on billionaires and corporations. It's dead in the water because it's never going to make it through the House, because he or she who wins has the power. And in this case, the Republicans took the House. They have the power to stop it. You don't win, you don't have the power. And that's why politics has become such a dirty, dirty game. And the other reason, of course, is that negative advertising and dirty politics wins. People seem to respond to it. So as long as we, the voting public of this country, respond to the negativism, it's not going away. Get used to it. The name of the game. Sorry about that, folks, but it's true. It's true. Whether you like it or not, it's a fact. Take a moment to talk about some very good friends of mine. They're more than just my car dealer, as I said. They're good friends. And I'm talking about McDonald Ford in Freeland, and Tom Jr. and Tom III, who are the owners of McDonald Ford. And of course, the late patriarch of the family, Tom McDonald Sr., who I knew for many, many, many years before his passing. These are great people. And they run a great dealership because it's who they are. They care about you. They're devoted to helping and serving you, located right there on M47 in Freeland. But Tom Jr. wants you to know that they're more than just a Ford dealer, because on their pre-owned lot, they have many, many different brands of automobiles and pickup trucks and SUVs. It's an extensive fleet, and they have all been through a 100-point inspection, including the one I'm driving today. If you want a great pickup, I'm driving a Chevrolet Z71 Trail Boss pickup truck. It's a 2019. Been through their inspection, runs great. It's a great ride and a good work truck. And if something happens that you have a problem with a vehicle, they've got a service department that is excellent. Whether it's minor service, major service, they can do it all. They have a drive collision center to take care of body problems. They have a quick lane change center for your oil changes and tires. You'll find it all at McDonald Ford. It's the dealer of my choice, has been for many years. New or pre-owned, the McDonald staff treats you like family, because family's everything to McDonald. 6790 Midland Road in Freeland. Oh, by the way, a community player recently, they paid off the Freeland High School library debt. You heard me right. They paid it off. We'll be back with more right after these notes.
Hello, this is Carol Thomas, and I'm going to be presenting my next seminars in Bay City on Wednesday, March 15th. I'll be at the Doubletree Hotel at 10 o'clock and 5 o'clock.
And Doodle has now added a noon session.
They always fill up, so if you're interested in attending, us at 989-793-2300. I talk about wills and trusts, the importance of them to get assets protected if you ever need nursing home care. It's also extremely important to understand why you need a financial power of attorney. Why do you need a medical power of attorney? I love presenting the seminars because this is where you're going to find out what is necessary. I've had so many people come to my office recently that I am not able to help because they do not have their documents set up. I think it's worth your time to come to one seminar, learn what you need to know, and then you can make the decision. But isn't it amazing, by coming to one seminar, you can learn how to protect your life savings? Please call my office, 793-2300, to make a reservation. I promise you, you will not be disappointed if you come to one of my seminars.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español. Gracias, Babbel. Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
You have the chance to win a $1,000 gift certificate to a business of your choice. It's the WSGW Home Improvement Contest presented by the Saginaw Home Builders Association. Enter online at WSGW.com. When you enter, you choose the business you would use your $1,000 gift certificate if you're drawn as the winner. Businesses include Reamer Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, Bay Landscaping, M&R Garage Door and Openers, Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery, Midland Sand Company, The Tech Laboratory, All Seasons Heating and Cooling, Delta Door Sales, Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center, Roof Max, Patriot Carpet Cleaning, Cranes L&M Appliance, Hartel Heating and Cooling, Westside Decorating Center, Big Ick Nursery and Garden Center, Mid-Michigan Garage Door, Bonifant Cabinetry, Woolfiles Ace Hardware. The Home Improvement Contest presented by the Saginaw Home Builder. Deadline to enter is March 24th. Enter online at WSGW.com.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, Art Lewis Show. Talk about Mayor Duggan for a minute. The Detroit mayor, Mike Duggan. He's going to be announcing a new federally funded crime prevention program. And this one actually has a chance of working because it has worked in other places. It's known as CVI, which is a crime-based violence intervention program. And it uses street people in the neighborhoods to interrupt the flow of violence in defined areas. And believe it or not, even in Chicago with its high homicide rate, it has worked to reduce that rate. It's still outrageous in Chicago, but it would have been far worse if they didn't have these intervention programs. And the mayor thinks that putting a program like this in certain neighborhoods in Detroit will help stem the tide of violence. And I think he's right. Many years ago, a group of us, there were 10 of us, many police officers, prosecutors, led by Dow, who was willing to make an investment, went to Chicago to see an intervention program in action. We walked around some of the neighborhoods where crime was high, talked to some of the participants who were former gang members who had been to jail and been to prison and were now used as the interveners to try and break the chain of violence. Because what they were finding is and this is true almost anywhere it happens, in gang wars, for example. One gang member gets killed, so they retaliate against the family of the person responsible. And what this intervention does is interrupts that reprisal, if you will. And it was a very expensive program, and it turned out it would not have been really effective in Saginaw where we were looking at it. But it's still its basis was an interesting theory, an interesting philosophy, and it was helping to stem the tide. I think that program has since gone away in Chicago because of the cost. But this program that Mayor Duggan is looking at is federally funded, and it'll be interesting to see if he can get it done. Let's talk to Carl in Saginaw. Carl, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Getting back to presidential politics.
Okay.
You were talking about the reason that Trump was so popular back in 2016 when he came on the scene. And you talked about his policies and things like that. I think the reason Trump won back then was because he was a celebrity.
Part of it.
And we have a...
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. Listen, there's the same reason I'm saying... Go ahead.
Yeah, if Trump had never been on TV, The Apprentice, I don't think he ever would have been president. People thought he was a real businessman because they saw him on TV, firing people.
Well, regardless, doesn't matter. He had the it factor. It's the same thing Michelle Obama has for a different reason, but she has the it factor. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, and I think someone else today is Carrie Lake, who I don't agree with, but I think she has that it factor.
Yeah,
somebody like she's very photogenic.
Yeah,
she's very
she was a TV
very confident.
She was a TV
smile.
Personality.
Yes, exactly.
So,
yeah.
Well, she'll be somebody to watch because she's one of the people apparently Trump is considering as possible vice president. I read that this morning.
Yes.
And listen,
she still her election either.
Yeah,
So
I know it.
swamped.
I know it, and that's why it's. I don't know. I just we are so wrapped up. I'm gonna have to run because I'm almost out of time here. Make it quick. 10 seconds.
You said the Dems are afraid of Trump. I'm hoping that Trump is the nominee.
Be careful what you hope for. We'll leave it there. Be careful what you hope for, Carl. I gotta go. I'm out of time here. We'll talk again.
Liberty Bridge is your gateway to work, school, downtown, and the Midland Street Business District. Enjoy all the benefits of Liberty Bridge for free until April. Save time. The most convenient route to your destination. Avoid congestion at other local bridges and experience Bay City's newest, most reliable bridge. Brought to you by local union workers and Bay City Bridge Partners. For your passport to the lowest rates once tolling begins, get your BC Pass before April at BayCityBridgePartners.com.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
Carl came in on Monday upset because his truck needed more repairs. I completely understand because that's his livelihood. He was ready for something new. So I took him in my office right away and I was able to. He was very happy to be able to leave with that check in his hand to go pick up his vehicle. He even came back a few hours later just to thank me and show me his new truck. I love being able to turn around someone's day.
Knowing members by name, going the extra mile to help them save money, understanding when they really need help. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-2328. Click on wildfirecu.org or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Easy Cater presents We've Got Your Back. Up Singers.
So I ordered barbecue for a 20-person client meeting.
Meeting.
Easy Cater calls and says, "Hi, Sarah, you probably need more food for that many people. Want us to add it for you?"
Done it for you.
I say, "Yes, please."
Yes.
Turns out they were right. Good thing they asked, because Joyce's meeting notes can be pretty sassy when she's hungry.
Look out.
Client meetings. Easy Cater has your back with over 100,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com and know
They got your back.
All right, that'll do it for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. We'll be chatting with Bay County Executive Jim Barcia after the 10 o'clock news. That's what's coming along next here on WSGW.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
Is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Paul Gauguin Cruises.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The bad news keeps coming for Norfolk Southern Railroad. We've just learned a conductor died in an accident outside a large steel production facility in Ohio this morning. WOIO-TV's Vic Gideon is in Cleveland.
Well, we understand there was a dump truck on one of the tracks, struck that dump truck. That did kill a Norfolk Southern employee.
3 Norfolk Southern train derailments have made headlines over the past month, including one that spilled toxic chemicals in East Palestine, Ohio. We're learning more about the 4 Americans kidnapped in northern Mexico Friday. Franca is in Brownsville, Texas.
Latavia Tay McGee's aunt told CBS News she believes her niece was going to Mexico for cosmetic surgery, a common practice since procedures are less expensive south of the border.
This woman in Brownsville says Matamoros, site of the kidnappings, is notorious for crime.
I wouldn't want my children going over there to be patient because you just don't know what can happen.
President Medicare up and running for another 25 years or so. In an op-ed in today's New York Times, he proposes increasing taxes on people who earn more than $400,000 a year and new rules to reduce prescription drug costs. Weight Watchers is moving into the white-hot market for diabetes drugs that can also help you slim down. Correspondent Matt Piper.
Sequence, which Weight Watchers is acquiring, is a subscription service that offers telehealth visits with doctors who can prescribe drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy, known to help people lose weight fast.
It solves an important. These are not, quote unquote, magic pills.
Weight Watchers CEO Seema Sistani says there's more to this new partnership than a quick fix pill.
This is about addressing a chronic condition in the same way that one might think about high cholesterol or hypertension.
A new study finds 1/4 of parents have lied about their kids having COVID or being vaccinated, so home from work to take care of them. Study author Andrew Germankin-Levy.
They wanted life to return to normal for their child and that they wanted to maintain their personal autonomy as parents.
Oklahomans are headed to the polls in a special election to decide on legalizing recreational one and over. KWTV's Natalie Cruz from Oklahoma City.
State Question 820 would not affect the existing medical marijuana program, but if passed, recreational marijuana would be legal effective June 5th. And cities can regulate time, place, and manner of marijuana businesses, but they cannot limit the number or ban them outright.
This is CBS News.
CBS News and Cruises, artfully authentic, all-inclusive year-round cruising to Tahiti and the South Pacific. Visit pgcruises.com today.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. Plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine. With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit Skyrizi.com. Skyrizi to learn more.
It's Jesse Kelly here. I can't afford to lose 30% of my 401k or IRA again, and I'm assuming you can't either. Call Oxford Gold. Securing 401k with real gold and silver is a portfolio protection plan, and Oxford Gold has made it easy as 1, 2, 3. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's it. You now own precious metals. Call Oxford Gold today to learn more about the 1, 2, 3 protection plan. 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD.
Live from the 190 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 31 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. A Lapeer County man accused of killing a man and his cat with an assault rifle in a rural Tuscola County cottage has been charged with 9 felonies. Cheryl Fritz with the Michigan News Source has this story.
Jeffrey Evans appeared for arraignment on charges of open murder, third-degree killing or torturing of an animal, and carrying a concealed weapon, among other charges. The charges stem from the fatal shooting of 41-year-old Sean Maxwell on Michigan News Source. I'm Cheryl Fritz.
The Midland-based economic policy group will get a $22,500 reward for blowing the whistle on a Michigan teachers union and its insurance arm. The Michigan Education Association and the Michigan Education Special Services Association received $12.5 million in government-backed loans during the early months of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Mackinac Center for Public Policy filed a lawsuit arguing they weren't eligible for the money. The union and its insurance affiliate repaid the loans with interest a year before the lawsuit was filed. The government had paid the lender a processing fee for the loans. The MEA agreed to pay $215,000 to the government, according to documents released Monday. The union says the lawsuit was a politically motivated attack. A former Saginaw police officer will serve a term of probation and must give up his Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards license after pleading no contest to 2 misdemeanors yesterday. Adam Collier was accused of punching a female suspect who was arrested in July 2020 on suspicion of assault. During the arrest, the woman allegedly resisted, and Collier punched her once. After taking the woman to the Saginaw County Jail, the woman spat on Collier, and he struck her 3 more times. He was fired shortly after the incident. Collier was charged with 2 counts of willful neglect of duty and aggravated assault. He's prevented from becoming a police officer in the state of Michigan. WSGW News Time 10:07.
EFPTOZ.
What are you doing?
Testing my doubler vision. Doubler message on my daily games tickets.
For a limited time, Michigan Lottery is printing doubler messages on random daily 3 and 4 box and 2-way tickets. If your winning ticket has it, you double your prize winnings.
Ooh, move over.
Hey.
EFP. 2 can play at this game.
Don't miss daily 3 and 4 doubler days from the Michigan Lottery for a limited time this month. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is from Mid-Michigan Garage Door in Midland. You're going to get half off a garage door tune-up. That's a $100 value for just $50. The tune-up includes a full lubrication of your door, spring tension, and opener chain adjustment. Possible future issues. Only valid for residential garage doors within a 50-mile radius of their Midland office. Head over to RocketGrabPlus.com to snag your deal before they run out.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. A new poll shows there's wide support for gun reform legislation under consideration by state lawmakers. The survey of 600 voters by the Glenn Gariff Group shows more than 75% of those polled support red flag and safe storage laws, which could be approved by legislative committees this month. In addition, 75% favor a 2-week waiting period for buying a gun, 60% support the idea of putting a capacity limit on magazines, and 55% agree with banning semi-automatic assault weapons. The survey was conducted last week, or 2 weeks after the mass shooting at Michigan State University left 3 students dead and 5 others wounded. Big honors for Detroit Metro Airport, which has just been recognized as the best in North America for the News Network's Greg Bowman has more.
Airports Council International says Metro has earned the 2022 Airport Service Quality Award for Best Airport, 25 to 40 million passengers in North America. Customers rated Metro high for wait times at the security checkpoints and border passport control areas, as well as the courtesy of staff in those locations. Customers also appreciated the increase and improved signage throughout the airport, high cleanliness, as well as various services. Wayne County Airport Authority CEO Chad Newton credits the entire Metro team for winning the award, including the staff, airlines, janitors, customs, and border protection, TSA, concessionaires, and more. And Newton says it's encouraging to know travelers have noticed our efforts to exceed expectations at Metro.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here is your WSG forecast. For today, look for a good deal of sunshine with highs working up into the upper 30s to near 40. Lower winds a bit breezy out of the north at 5 to 15. And for tonight, mostly clear skies dropping to a low of 23. Wednesday, still ample sunshine with a high of 38. And then mostly cloudy but still dry for your Thursday in the middle 30s. Snow returning to the forecast for Friday and into your Friday evening. Friday's highs climbing to 32. For Saturday, mostly cloudy up to 34 degrees. I'm meteorologist Michael Carroll with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently 26 degrees.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online WSGW. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Yes, indeed. Our sponsor, Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Expanded showroom, new product lines, including countertops. You're going to find it all at Westside Decorating Center. We start this hour by talking to someone I've known a long, long time through his various positions in government, including the one he has now, which is the Bay County Executive. We say good morning to Jim Barcia. Jim, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art, and thank you once again for having me on the program. And thanks also for all you do with communicating important issues throughout the Great Lakes Bay region, and I know the reach of WSGW goes far, I'll tell you. So it's always a pleasure to be on your program, Art, and to get caught up.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So let's talk, I guess, first of all, as as we sit here right now, what's the financial health of Bay County?
Well, it's pretty strong. Our general fund is only $36 million, and we have, but we do have operational grants that are, we receive from the state of Michigan and the federal government. For example, our court system, our probate, district, and circuit courts are 50% funded by the county, taxpayers of Bay County, and 50% matching grants from the state of Michigan. And we do receive a lot of operational federal grants for environmental programs and, various activities that we're involved in. But we have about a $3 million fund balance and $36 million general fund. And we try to operate very frugally. The county operating millage of 5.8 has not increased in going on 30 years. So we try to be respectful of the taxpayer resources and spend them very wisely and efficiently. But overall, I'd say, given what we've been through during the COVID pandemic that spanned 2 years, we came out pretty strong and stable. And our pension retirement system for our county employees is funded at about 116%.
Wow.
We also have a 20%, which is higher than the required 15% budget stabilization fund of about $7 million that we would be able to, with Department of Treasury's approval, withdraw for an emergency or dire financial needs for the county pay staff.
You ought to open up a school and teach other government officials how to do that. It's pretty impressive when you think about it. But let me ask, Jim, if you take a look at your current budget situation, which obviously is very good for the county, but like every governmental entity or every geopolitical region, there are things you need that you'd like to have. What would you like to have that you can't afford right now?
Oh gosh, we're looking at trying to replace the elevators. In retrospect, we spent our ARP funding very wise, making some incremental installments on upgrading the elevators in the main county facility on Center and Madison, where my office is located, in the Department of Veterans Affairs and Register of Deeds and Clerk and all the many of the other office holders, the Treasurer's Office, Finance. We have elevators that have been they're the original elevators that were installed when the county was built. County building was built in 1934.
Really?
It's getting very difficult to find replacement parts. You almost have to have an out-of-state firm custom build parts to replace the very, very obsolete parts from the 1930s. And to upgrade those elevators would be about $1 million. But we're trying to set aside a couple of $100,000 each year until we can, hopefully upgrade them, not replace them entirely, but basically put new, all the system that operates the elevator, to restore those, so that occasionally we have problems where people get stuck in between floors and they panic a little, but we haven't had that happen in a while.
Oh, good.
But we're also very grateful to the voters that approved the millage for our animal shelter. The shelter was housed in a mosquito control building that was converted in 2006 and was never designed to be an animal shelter. It was deficient with HVAC and was not designed to be one. But when you renovate or build new, of course, you have to follow the regulations of the Michigan Department of Agriculture that enforces the Animal Control Act of 1919. However, the regulations have been updated, and so there are recommendations on preventing, for example, the HVAC, and also reducing stress on the animals by not placing dogs in each other, raises their stress level and the continuous barking, and that causes infectious disease from the stress levels referred to as kennel cough. So we have done some work over the last 5 years to address those issues and have mitigated it. But like Saginaw County is the animal shelter, I saw, or animal control and care center, we're sort of seeing a lot of animals, especially dogs and cats, being returned, with inflation hitting the cost of pet food and other people moving out and not being able to take their pets with them. Some are being abandoned in their homes that they're leaving. And so, of course, our animal control officers pick them up, and we house them until they're adopted out, because we went to a no-kill concept in 2017.
So are you about to build a new shelter then?
Yes, we had approval for a very modest, about it's only, I think, about like $35 a year on the average $100,000 home. But that will provide funding for a new approximately $8 million animal shelter. Either we'll renovate or we will build new, but some of the proposals we've had so far seem to indicate that there wouldn't be much difference. And if we built new, the longevity of the structure would, last us another 40 years as opposed to renovation.
I'm sure you will do a better job of making the decision than they did in Saginaw County. That was a travesty. But they have a new shelter, but there were things about it that, they had
It did take a long time to cite it.
They did, and the decision was, I don't know. But, some of the things that really you scratch your head about is the current shelter had 90 cages, 90 spaces for animals. They're overcrowded now. And instead of building a bigger one, they built a bigger building, but they only have space for 80 in the new one. Makes no sense. I don't understand it. Never will understand it, but that's not my decision. So, but I'm sure you'll take all that into account when you build yours.
Yeah. We got a very small facility, and Saginaw's. I understand they're going to have, I think, a vet on staff and a surgical suite and X-ray.
Oh yeah, they'll have all of that.
And they have a $16 million facility, and ours.
But space
will be 7.5, 8.
Yeah, but space for less animals. So that's why I scratch my head. I just do not understand it. But who am I? Who am I? All right, listen, I got to take a break. We'll come back and talk more. We're talking to Jim Barcia. He is the Bay County executive, and we will return with Jim in just a couple of moments. Let me ask about your 401k. You know, it can be an important asset for many American retirements. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years and even decades. Its tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers. The little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. The commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
You have a family doctor. Do you have a family plumber? When you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling problem happen in your home or business, you need to be able to call a professional that you can rely on and trust to make the repair or equipment replacement. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been the professional homeowners and businesses 55 years. Whether you're looking for an emergency water heater replacement or planning a new heating system installation, you can trust Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to provide quality service and installation. Reamer has the equipment to fit every budget, experienced estimators, and state licensed technicians to install. Trust a professional to do the job right. Call Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Visit them on the web at reamerplumbing.com.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this report.
Stocks opened flat with investors anticipating 2 days of Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's remarks to Congress. Salesforce shares opened higher. The business software company revealed plans to use artificial intelligence for sales, service, marketing, commerce, and IT interactions with customers. Dick's Sporting Goods shares opened up 5% after a better than expected holiday quarter. Sales rose. Dick's forecast was more upbeat than anticipated, and it is raising its dividend. Meta Platforms, parent company of Facebook, shares opened up more than 2.5%. There are reports that Meta is planning even more previously announced. Thor, parent company of Airstream RVs, is lowering its forecast for the year. Demand remains challenged. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
It's Jesse Kelly here. I can't afford to lose 30% of my 401k or IRA again, and I'm assuming you can't either. Call Oxford Gold. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver is a portfolio protection plan, and Oxford Gold has made it easy as 1, 2, 3. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's it. You now own precious metals. Call Oxford Gold today. 3 protection plan. 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD.
Save on your next project with 11% off everything at Menards. Light up your garage or workspace with our great selection of lights from Good Earth Lighting. Good Earth light fixtures are eco-friendly and super efficient, saving you money on your next electric bill. Pick up a 45-inch length, 10,000 lumen LED shop light for $29.99 after sale price and rebate. Good through March 12th, savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Listen to this station. Where? On Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back. Up Singers.
Backup singers.
So I order barbecue for a 20-person client meeting.
A client meeting.
EasyCater calls and says, "Hi, Sarah, you probably need more food for that many people. Want us to add it for you?"
Doing it for you.
I say, "Yes, please."
Yes.
Turns out they were right. Good thing they asked. because Joyce's meeting notes can be pretty sassy when she's hungry.
Look out!
Client meetings? EasyCater has your back with over 100,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 on No.
We got your back.
Your WSGW morning team.
As the Detroit Tigers baseball broadcast returned to WSW 790, of course, for 56 consecutive years.
Sounded good.
When they won. It was nice to have the voices of spring on the radio. I look forward to more preseason games as we are able.
I was just thinking the other day with the snowstorm coming in today again, I wouldn't mind reporting from Lakeland. We were looking at the weather down there. It's supposed to be in the low 80s.
Yeah.
Our on-scene correspondent she said she's there for the Tigers, but we know why she's really in Lakeland for.
That's right.
To get away from the snow.
Oh, but look at that. So it's just so boring. 80 degrees down there.
Oh, that's not
come on.
boring.
Look at this. You're going to get some sleep, some wind. This is fun. This is
sunshine,
fun.
warm weather.
Well, and this is always a fun time of year, the late winter, early spring. Never know exactly what you're going to get. Bring it back home. We've got Tigers baseball.
It's spring on your radio when the Tigers play, right?
Charlie, Denise, and Pat, your morning team. 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show,
Joe Biden needs an escalator.
I'm not disagreeing, but why?
His least favorite test.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. We're talking about Bay County with Bay County Executive Jim Barcia this morning. Jim, let's talk about housing for a moment in Bay County. What's the housing stock like? Are you seeing any new development?
Well, we are, the challenge, of course, Art, is always in the urban center, the county seat base. That housing, as you know, Bay City had a proud history early on. At one time, we were the second largest city next to Detroit when Michigan was still a territory. In the early lumber era and all of the economic activity generated by the Saginaw Bay the Saginaw River and being located on the bay in Lake Huron. And the ship, then that trend sort of evolved into the shipbuilding industry, both from early, wooden ships and then Defoe shipbuilding. And so a lot of our housing stock in the city is older. Much of it has, especially on Center Avenue, various have been very well maintained over the years, but it's always a challenge, whether it's the city of Saginaw, Flint, Bay City. The housing stock in the county seat is typically older than the housing that was built around the city and as the population grew. So we're still seeing a pretty strong number of housing startups, subdivisions throughout the county and the townships, especially out in Williams Township, Frankenless Township. Slowing down a little in Bangor, but also in Monitor Township, a lot in housing and some small businesses. So, we're doing okay on that front. And Art, as we've discussed before, our challenge, of course, is growing our population, not only here in Bay County, but statewide in the state of Michigan, because we're growing about 1% a year statewide, but that is not enough to keep pace with the growth in the rest of the country. And that's why, starting back from Bob Traxler's reign as our longtime exemplary congressman from the old 8th District, we've consistently seen every 10 years we lose another member of Congress because our population has not grown proportionally to the rest of the country, to other states. The massive migration to Texas, Florida, and Arizona, some of the warmer Sunbelt climates, and then just people as they retire moving sometimes to warmer climates. But again, we've got to stay focused on economic development, and we're very excited about investments like SK Siltron SS, which is going to spur additional investments into Bay County.
Let's talk about that for a moment, because obviously jobs are critical. In order to grow a population, you have to have work for them. How much can a county do, and how much do you rely on the state efforts to bring industry into Michigan?
Well, you're right. We're members or premier sponsors along with the city of Bay Future, but they're a staff of 3. And they basically set up appointments with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. But also, and that's where the incentivized funding would come. I know there were bits for training for SK Siltron and $2 million that was provided as an incentive, as well as an array of programs that the state of Michigan offers through the MEDC. And then the other heroes kind of are our DDAs. The Monitor Technology Park has been incredible to work with, and the county, as you know, authorizes them. And when I was in the Senate, though, I did break the yoke of the Bay County government on the Bay City Downtown Development Authority and the city of Saginaw. We decided that, in order to see investment on our river and see our small business community flourish, we had to have those tax increment financing authority benefits to encourage and entice entrepreneurs to invest the hundreds of millions of dollars that have been invested into our riverfront in Bay City. And I'm very proud that when I talk to people from Detroit or other parts of the state, they're noticing Bay City more and, stopping in to enjoy some of the riverfront restaurants and some of the other that have come about recently in the last 10, 12 years. And so I think our DDAs are critical in terms of the tax incentives that can be provided, whether that's for professional offices, businesses, or residential housing. For example, all the condominiums that are now available for people to be housed and enjoy the wonderful Saginaw River in their front yards and off their balconies. And so we're doing what we can across Bay County to work in partnership with local government and our DDAs and also the state to kind of ensure that the trend continues and that we continue to see newer housing options and, for people to remain here and also for the small business entities, which are critical to any economy. We also on the very large investments, and we know they're critical, but also to have a strong economic base, you have to have a thriving small business community. And with the advent of, remote work and technology now, there are the opportunities out there for people to actually work remotely from home most of the time, even without estate firms. And as long as their productivity is up, I think it seems to be working. And we're going to try a pilot program in the county to see certain positions that aren't customer service oriented directly to try allowing on a couple of days per week some of the county employees to work remotely from home. But that's a pilot program, and the unions have wanted for some time, and we agreed to try a pilot project to see how that works. It has seemed to take off sector in the business community, and I know that the state of Michigan and other larger entities than Bay County have had some degree of success. I know Dow Chemical, many of a family member who has worked at Dow Chemical for 20 years in an administrative position, and she has the ability to work from home in a remote capacity, and it seems to be working very well.
All right, hang on, Jim. I got to take a break, and we'll be back. We're talking to Bay County Executive Jim Barcia here on the Art Lewis program for this Tuesday morning.
At the end of the rainbow, there's a pot of leprechaun loot at Saginaw Eagles Landing. That's right, we filled our cash cube with over $6,000. Winners will have 1 minute to grab as much as they can. Drawings are every Friday and Saturday in March from 3 to 10 p.m. You could even find the lucky leprechaun worth $500 premium play. Don't miss leprechaun loot at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
Every piece of land has a story. For the Caggianos, it's keeping their yard pristine with a John Deere C530MC track mower. Because it's not just a yard, it's a gathering place.
Work and play kind of meld together for us.
They run a brewery, harvest their own hops, and keep things tidy for their guests.
People say, what are you? Are you a farmer or a brewer? So I say, I'm a farmer brewer.
When you love what you do, it's not really work. Run with us on a C530M mower and start telling your story. Learn more at johndeere.com/radio.
It's Jesse Kelly here. I can't afford to lose 30% of my 401k or IRA again, and I'm assuming you can't either. Call Oxford Gold. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver is a portfolio protection plan, and Oxford Gold has made it easy as 1, 2, 3. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's it. You now own precious metals. Call Oxford Gold today to learn more about the 1, 2, 3 protection plan. 404-GOLD, 833-404-GOLD.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español.
Gracias, Babbel.
Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning and that's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new place.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine. With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Detroit Tigers spring training baseball is on WSGW.
Jonathan Scope is being waved around third. Tigers win!
Tune in throughout March as our Tigers gear up for the 2023 season. Visit WSGW.com for the spring training broadcast schedule. Scroll down the homepage and click on the sports broadcast schedule box. Opening day is Thursday, March 30th. Your home for Detroit Tigers baseball for 56 years is WSGW. From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show. We are talking to Bay County Executive Jim Barcia. Jim, what's going to happen when consumers finally shuts down the Carn-Wettick project totally? How do you replace that money, and what's the property going to end up with?
Yes, very good question, Art. And I hear that frequently from not only our mutual constituents in Hampton Township. The township will experience about an approximate 17% reduction in tax revenue to the township. And then, of course, we will countywide take a hit because Consumers Energy paid quite a bit of property tax on their very expansive facility out there. Their, power plant that operated from, for 100 years. So we are obviously very concerned about the future use of that site and have been meeting on a semi-regular basis about what their plans might be. And there are some discussions about, potentially a solar farm that if it, would not encroach with neighbors and things like that, it could be, is a fairly expansive piece of property out there near the bay. And that's a possibility that's being discussed. But each time we engage, we indicate that we really would not property remain on the tax rolls because we have over about 28% of our property in Bay County does not generate property tax, either because of environmental restrictions such as wetlands or basically, things like the dioxin settlement with Dow Chemical on the Tittabawassee River. We see that group of individuals who has been tasked to spend that money, continuing to purchase large expanses of property, real estate in Bay County, taking it off the tax rolls and making it unavailable for development in the future. And so I know we just, there's couple of thousand acres for the Midland Nature Center, a few hundred acres in Midland County, and a few thousand acres or 1,600 acres or more in Bay County that will be taken off the tax rolls for a nature preserve. Not that we have anything against nature preserves, but we have, a lot of area that cannot be developed. And the prevalence of, the wetlands and the environmentally sensitive areas that border the Saginaw Bay in Bay County. And I know Tuscola County faces a similar situation out in Quantico, vast tracts of land that can never be developed. And even when people owned them, they wanted to voluntarily turn them over to the state, and the state said, no, we have enough wetlands. We don't need more.
Yeah.
So although this latest discussion is to restore wetlands in some areas that are currently inhabited, with areas near the Bay City State Park. So I know that I and Laura Ogar are going to weigh in with the settlement group that will be making those decisions in terms of extending that settlement money from Dow regarding the contamination through the dioxins on the Saginaw River front to restore, I guess, the habitat and some of the natural habitat and some of the other restoration efforts that they're involved with.
Well, let's talk about contamination for a minute. That site has been a power plant, as you indicated, for decades and decades and decades. What do we know about the soil condition at that site, and will it take remediation before anything can be built there?
Well, the hot ponds, for sure, are a site that will be, I think, excavated. I'm not an expert, and I haven't been following it carefully. However, I do know that our Bay County Golf Course, we traditionally always had an issue. The irrigation system was hooked up to a ditch on about, the Knight Road, only about 6-7 inches, 8 inches of water, except in the springtime when it gets higher. But we all to irrigate the Bay County Golf Course. And the Eagle, former Department of Environmental Quality, now referred to as Eagle, Department of State of Michigan, has been pretty conscientious, I think, about oversight on how that site will be as it's being decommissioned and the materials are hauled away to landfills and things that I know we sold about, I think it was 90. We got, I'm trying to think, 3 million gallon pond now because we received $105,000 for clay that was excavated from the golf course to encapsulate the topsoil on the site just a short distance away at Carnwettock. So I know those efforts are ongoing, and I believe the state of Michigan will do their best to make sure that whatever future uses there doesn't, it's going to, the contamination that exists there will be dealt with and either encapsulated or removed entirely. And I know that they have been transferring some of the hazardous soil and materials away to distant landfills.
All right, Jim, hold on. We'll take one more segment here, and we are talking to Bay County Executive Jim Barcia. More with the executive right after this.
Spring break is on the way. Do you plan to get away?
Yep, gonna fly the kids to the sunny side of the U.S.
Heading for the mountains for a family ski vacation. Hope there's snow.
No matter the plans, MBS International Airport is ready for takeoff. With services through Delta and United Airlines, you'll feel up as soon as you walk through the door. Book your flight today at mbsairport.org, and we'll help you break away this spring.
If you have an IRA or 401k, please listen closely. My name is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and New York Times bestselling author. Throughout my career, let's just say I've been in some hairy situations. And I believe right now the biggest threat facing Americans is they need to protect their wealth, which is exactly what I'm doing for my wife and 6 kids. And I believe the ultimate safe haven is physical gold and silver. You can protect your hard-earned retirement assets with a tax-free loophole that allows you to convert your retirement into physical gold and silver. The folks I use are Advantage Gold, and believe me, I've investigated the heck out of all types of people. Advantage Gold is the nation's highest-rated gold company. They have the best process, pricing, and service. If you want to get your free gold and silver investment kit, please contact Advantage Gold right now, and you'll see how easy it is to protect yourself with precious metals. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So what do you provide? Cookie cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
Hi, this is Mikey. You can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
All right, back with you. We're talking to Bay County Executive Jim Barcia about things happening in Bay County. And Jim, of course, after the last election, there were some changes on the Bay County Commission. How's the commission doing with you these days?
They're doing very well. And, maybe at some point you can have one on as a guest and, see what their perceptions are. But they, some brought experience from the township level, like Commissioner Banajak, and others were relatively new, to government. Others, like Dennis Boyer, had served previously on the Bay County Board of Commissioners. And I want to say we missed the commissioners that were replaced, or in the case of Commissioner Coonan, who ran for the state representative seat, a different office than he had held for 20 years. Here on the county commission. However, I've known each of the new commissioners. We have a Republican majority now, but I've considered all of them friends for the past 20 years and have known them for a long time. And they're excited in their new roles in county government and learning and have open minds. And so I think, it's going very well. The board, we're tackling, the animal shelter and upgrading the programming and bit of staffing at the animal shelter. And then also our big project, which we set aside almost half of our ARP money for, and that is the Bay County Health Services building, which will be relocated on the west side of the Saginaw River, on the west side of Bay County, and in a key location. I can't disclose it at this point, but it will be very visible. It's large, over 70,000 square feet, and we would hope to have an alliance with a few other agencies. One state agency in particular would like to, become a tenant and move in, and to upgrade and improve better health department services to all of our Bay County residents. So that's a major undertaking and a lot of renovation. And we set aside $9 million of our ARP funding, and Congressman Kildee, told him he secured $2 million under community project funding from Congress toward the cost of renovation. And another issue that I want to not issue, but want to thank Congressman Kildee for a $1 million grant to the Bay County Sheriff's Office, and a chunk of that money a piece of that money is going to purchase a new air rescue boat. And it has an airplane propeller, and it crosses land and sea very, very quickly over water and land, and will be equipped with sonar devices and new technologies that can help locate either, drowning victims underwater, as opposed to the current, scuba divers having to go down and search, and then also submerged vehicles or any disaster emergency situation where someone needs help quickly to save a life. Our Sheriff's Department or Marine Patrol Division will be well equipped to respond to those emergencies. In addition, Bay County and the board provided funding for 2 new Marine Patrol boats.
trying to make that stop.
38 and 39-year-old boats that were getting pretty dated and pretty old.
You have a timeline on the health building, and when do you expect to see that come to fruition?
I would sure like to see it get done in the next 18 months or 2 years, Art, but we're in the final stages of approving some of the paperwork on the sale of the structure we have in mind, and as soon as we get that done, we'll start putting out bids for the work to begin.
You want it done that quickly? Does that mean that you don't expect to run again? You know I was going to ask.
My inclination is not to. However, a lot of people are asking me to rethink that. And these two projects are very important to me, but that's a decision yet to be made, I guess, in the future. But I'm very grateful to the voters of Bay County for their long history of support, and have tried throughout my career to focus on constituent service, whether I was in the legislature or Congress or here at the county building. When someone needs help cutting through red tape with government, it's important that you be their advocate and you help to the best extent possible, help them navigate sometimes the bureaucracy of the state or local governments, and especially at the congressional level, the federal government, which can be quite a challenge for an average citizen without the help of an intervention of a member of Congress.
That's for sure. Well, Jim, listen, thank you much for spending the hour with us this morning, as always. And we'll be in touch. I think I owe you a dinner.
Thank you, Art, for all that you do. And by the way, congratulations on your recent induction into the Michigan Broadcasting Hall of Fame.
Thanks a
lot.
lot.
All of your listeners and all of the residents of the region and beyond are so proud of your stellar career in broadcasting, and you truly are a famous personality that you're a community treasure, that's for sure.
I appreciate it, Jim. Thank you.
We hope you continue long into the future.
All right, my friend. We'll be in touch. Have a good one.
Yes, you too.
Take care. Bye-bye now. We'll be back to close out.
Retirement is more than a newly discovered free time. It's a time to reflect on how you'll be remembered and your legacy. It's important to make proper arrangements now. Tune in to WSGW AM to your Financial Empower Hour with Jason and Carl Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment Advisors in Midland. Learn how to structure your retirement savings to increase the value of your estate and help leave the legacy you want. Plus, call Great Lakes Investment Advisors today, and they will include a complimentary Legacy Maximizer at 989-835-7203. That's 989-835-7203. This commercial shall in no way be construed as solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan, or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
This message is provided by Boehringer Ingelheim. Idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, or IPF, is one of the more common forms of progressive fibrosing interstitial lung diseases. Breathlessness during activity, a dry and persistent cough, chest discomfort. There are more than 200 lung disorders that can lead to pulmonary fibrosis, an irreversible scarring of lungs that can negatively impact lung function, quality of life, and may become life-threatening. While approved treatments for people living with these diseases can help slow disease progression, new therapies are needed to help potentially stop progression. Fortunately, there is new research underway to assess the safety and efficacy of an investigational treatment in patients with IPF and other progressive ILDs. This is part of Boehringer Ingelheim's Phase 3 Global Fibroneer Program. To learn more about Fibroneer and eligibility requirements, visit fibroneer.longboat.com and fibroneer-ild.
The WSGW Morning Team.
A lot of people are trying to figure this one out because it's the misspelling of a person's name, and this person is a historical figure. He's associated with baseball, but as a lot of people are pointing out, you don't even really have to be a baseball fan with the historical significance that Jackie Robinson is known for, breaking the color barrier in baseball. Well, apparently in New York, there's a road sign in Queens, which was put up, and because they have a section of road, it's called Jackie Robinson Parkway. And when they put the sign up, they unfortunately spelled it Jackie, and they forgot to put the C in his name, Jakie. Yeah, and they put the sign up. The New York Department of Transportation might have missed it, but a lot of other people didn't. That's the kind of situation that even if I was sure, I might check anyway and say, I know it's spelled this way, but someone just look at it to make sure that I didn't screw up. It's such as Denise, for example.
People never ask me. They just spell it
They
the common
assume.
way.
Charlie, Denise, and Pat, your morning team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Heading up to the news, we'll have CBS News and then the local report. And then we will be back to talk about fencing on Focus.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. There's breaking news from Mexico, a tragic end to the story of 4 Americans who were fired upon and seized late last week. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The governor of the Mexican state of Tamaulipas says 2 of the 4 U.S. citizens are dead. 1 was wounded and 1 unharmed. It isn't clear where they were located or what condition the wounded American is in. Mexico's president also says has been detained in the case. The 4 were apparently in Mexico, traveling from South Carolina for cosmetic surgery for one of them when they came under attack.
There's word a Norfolk Southern Railroad conductor died today in an accident at a production facility in Cleveland. The rail line has had 2 derailments in Ohio over the last 5 weeks. Interest rates are headed even higher. That's the word from the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell in testimony this morning to Congress as the economy remains on solid footing.
The latest economic data have come in stronger than expected, which suggests that the ultimate level of interest rates is likely to be higher than previously anticipated.
Well, some members of Congress are doing something that's been making news.
A bipartisan group of 12 U.S. senators is introducing the legislation giving the Commerce Secretary new powers to ban not only the Chinese-owned TikTok app, but other foreign-based companies. Democratic Senator Mark Warner says he believes the social media app is a national security threat. This comes after the House Foreign Affairs Committee advanced a Republican-backed bill with similar goals. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Well, CBS News has learned the Justice Department could file suit as soon as today to block JetBlue's proposed merger with Spirit Airlines. Legal analyst Jessica Levinson says there are concerns it could limit options and driving.
No, Jay is arguing is, no. You're actually going to lock people out of the market. Spirit Airlines is a lower cost airline. And if you merge with JetBlue, it would hurt consumers who want that lower cost.
There's an investigation in Boston after 2 United jets made contact yesterday.
We were backing off, taxiing to try and take off, and felt this thumb kind of jerk back a little bit.
Surprising to passengers, the wing of one 737 hit the tail of another jet. No injuries reported. Weight Watchers stock is soaring, up more than 30% today after the company said it was getting into the prescription drug weight loss business with the purchase of Sequence, a telehealth operator. Checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 275 points. The S&P is down 38. The NASDAQ is off 89 points. This is CBS News.
Nobody should have to pay for one size. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands with RoofMax, the world's first roof rejuvenation treatment. RoofMax is a safe, easy, and affordable alternative to costly asphalt roof replacement, and it's guaranteed. So don't replace RoofMax.
RoofMax, a safe, easy, proven, affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Call Ben today at 859-6751 or go to GetRoofMax.com for a free quote.
At Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, an evening with James Taylor.
Oh, I've seen fire, I've seen rain.
Friday night, June 23rd, part of the Soaring Eagle Summer Outdoor Concert Series. Tickets start at $36, on sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office and etix.com. James Taylor, Under the Stars, June 23rd at Soaring Eagle Casino.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. .com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 34 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A Saginaw area doctor was arrested in Genesee County yesterday. The Genesee Human Oppression Strike Team, or GHOST, arrested 61-year-old Parminder Jaswal on several charges, including fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct, accosting a child for immoral purposes, possession of child sexually abusive material, and using a computer to commit a crime. An investigation into Jaswal began when the doctor allegedly attempted to meet with who he thought was a 15-year-old for sex, but was actually a ghost sting operation. Jaswal is currently out on bond. The Bavarian Inn in Frankenmuth is getting some extra funding to help out with an $80 million expansion to its indoor water park and entertainment center. The tourist destination received an additional $750,000 grant through a Michigan Business Development Program for the expansion, which is expected to create 71 jobs in the region. The new addition will give the Bavarian Inn the largest indoor water park in Michigan, featuring more than 20 new attractions, including water slides, a wave pool, and a swim-up bar for adults. A groundbreaking for the project was held in December, and the expansion is expected to be open in the spring of 2024. National Groundwater Awareness Week is an annual observance to highlight the responsible development, management, and use of groundwater. The event also encourages yearly water well testing, well maintenance, and the promotion of policies impacting groundwater quality and supply. The Bay County Health Department recommends annual testing of wells for coliform bacteria in E. coli and can perform if a well is located less than 50 feet to either a drain field or septic tank. The well should be sampled more frequently for bacteria, nitrates, nitrites, and others to ensure it does not become contaminated. Questions about well systems, testing, or inspections, call the Health Department's environmental health staff Monday through Friday at 989-895-4006. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Spring break is on the way. Do you plan to get away?
Yep, gonna fly the kids to the sunny side of the U.S.
Heading for the mountains for a family ski vacation. Hope there's snow.
No matter the plans, MBS International Airport is ready for takeoff. With services through Delta and United Airlines, you'll feel upgraded as soon as you walk through the door. Book your flight today at mbsairport.org, and we'll help you break away this spring.
Liberty Bridge, school, downtown, and the Midland Street Business District. Enjoy all the benefits of Liberty Bridge for free until April. Save time and fuel by taking the most convenient route to your destination. Avoid congestion at other local bridges and experience Bay City's newest, most reliable bridge. Brought to you by local union workers and Bay City Bridge Partners. For your passport to the lowest rates once tolling begins, get your BC Pass before April at BayCityBridgePartners.com.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has declared this week School Breakfast Week in Michigan, as her education budget includes a plan to offer all 1.4 million students with a free breakfast and lunch. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan registered dietitian Shanti Appello says breakfast is the most important meal of the day for children.
After 8 hours of no food after sleep, it has those nutrients and offers that energy to kickstart. Research really shows that kids who have a good breakfast perform better in school, they have better moods overall, and they just tend to perform better academically.
Apello says 76% of kids go to school hungry, and a lot of that has to do with access at home. So school breakfasts are important. The legal battle over criminal charges filed against the parents of Oxford High School shooter Ethan Crumley moves to the Michigan Court of Appeals today. Attorneys for James and Jennifer Crumley will argue the involuntary manslaughter charges filed against the parents a few days after 4 students were killed and 7 others, including a teacher, were wounded, should be dismissed. Prosecutors say the parents did not get help for their son and bought him a gun shortly before the shooting. The defense says the Crumleys were not the cause of the deaths of Tate Mayer, Justin Schilling, Hannah St. Juliana, and Madison Baldwin. A decision is not expected to be made today. Who's happening? Call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1110. I'm Mike Percha.
Here is your WSGW weatherology forecast. For today, look for a good deal of sunshine with highs working up into the upper 30s to near 40. We'll have our winds a bit breezy out of the north at 5 to 15. Then for tonight, mostly clear skies dropping to a low of 23. Wednesday, still ample sunshine with a high of 38, and then mostly cloudy but still dry for your Thursday in the middle 30s. Snow returning to the forecast for Friday and into your Friday evening. Friday's highs climbing to 32. For Saturday, mostly cloudy up to 34 degrees. I'm meteorologist Michael Carroll with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently 26 degrees.
Now, it's time to focus as presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is presented by RoofMax. That's RoofMax with 2 X's.
And a good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and easy and affordable alternative to asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out more online at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. RoofMax. Today we're going to talk about a topic I don't think we've talked about in the past. I can remember anyway. But there is a fencing alliance in our area, and we're going to talk about that sport with some folks who are involved. First of all, we welcome to the program Scott Green. Scott, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. Thanks for having us.
Good morning. And let me do something. Hang on a minute here. I put a plug in or I won't be able to hear you. Everybody else can, but I can't. Now I got you. And also with us this morning, his son, we say good morning to Zach Green. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning.
Don't hear you, Zach. Make sure you're not muted. Scott, are you there?
Yeah, I could hear Zach.
Okay, good. Gotcha. All right. Let me ask first of all, how did the alliance, the fencing alliance, form? What brought it about?
We started with a couple of different clubs in the area, and in 2016, we brought the 2 clubs together with a couple of families, and just with the goal of bringing fencing to the area, to as many people as we could.
Had you been involved in fencing before, Zach?
I was involved with one of the clubs that was in Midlands since 2010, and then we merged together in 2016, and have gone from there.
And Scott, your involvement, because your son was involved, is that how you got involved?
Yeah, exactly. So I was involved behind the scenes for a lot of years, running tournaments and helping out. And then I think it was right around 2016, I jumped in and started fencing as well.
So tell us about the alliance. First of all, what's its full name?
It's Bay Regional Fencing Alliance.
BRFA.
Yep, BRFA. Yep. So we're from 2016, starting with just a handful of people. We've grown to over 100 members now. So we've had quite a lot of growth and exposure over the last 7 years.
So As an alliance, what do you do aside from fencing tournaments? Is it a teaching organization?
Yeah, I'm the beginner coach. So we take people from the point where they're not familiar with anything about fencing, and we coach them through beginner class. They can proceed to intermediate and advanced class, and to help them get to where they need to be for competitions.
Zach, let me ask you, what attracted you to the sport?
Well, I started when I was around 8 years old, and I think almost every little boy just really loves swords, and that was what brought me in.
But it's a little different today, isn't it? It's all electronic, isn't it? Even though you have a foil, it's still electronic, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's very different than I had anticipated, but I'm very glad that it brought me in regardless.
Now, you participated in the Junior Olympics, right? What was
Yes,
that
sir.
like for you?
It was a great experience. I was able to learn a lot, and it was unlike any local event, just due to the scale. I'd never seen so many people in the same room all interested in the same sport as I was.
And Scott, you said you also learned defense?
Yeah, I learned defense, and I've traveled to local and national tournaments with Zach. So like a local tournament, you'll get maybe up to 30 people in an event. So once you get to the national scale, it gets a little crazy. I mean, there's 300 to 400 people in each event, so it's just a lot more competition, a lot more things going on.
And it is, correct me if I'm wrong, but not only as a big Olympic sport, but it is quite a big sport in universities, isn't it?
It is. So almost every college has a club team. Most of them have a NCAA tournament circuit that they go on. There's actually a couple colleges in Michigan, one being Oakland and one being Wayne State, where you can actually get a full ride scholarship for fencing.
And how big is your organization right now?
We're a little over 100 members right now, and growing by leaps and bounds. It's been a little crazy.
Where do you meet regularly?
Yes.
Yep.
So Mondays and Thursdays we're there from 6 till 8:30, and then we've just added Tuesdays due to our growth. So yeah, we're open extra days a week now.
And where is there when you say there? Where do you meet?
So we have a club right in Freeland. It's actually the old Freeland Convention Center. It's 8390 Midland Road in Freeland. So we have our own building. We got about 4,000 square foot of open area to fence and practice.
How long does it take somebody to become proficient, Zach?
I teach the beginner class in 8 weeks. I would say that's what you need to learn the fundamentals. To get to the point where someone's tournament ready, it's usually another couple months. And to get to the point where you're consistently winning, it really depends on someone's determination. But I think that can happen in about a couple of years.
How expensive a sport is it, particularly in terms of equipment and clothing?
It definitely takes a little bit of an initial startup cost once you're buying your own gear. Fortunately, the club provides the gear all through beginner class, and then traditionally we've done through intermediate class as well, although with our growth it's becoming a little bit more difficult to provide.
And how is the Alliance funded?
We are. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, it's really through class fees and donations. So we are a 501 3C nonprofit. So it's really all been through class fees.
Mm-hmm. All right, hang on, guys. I got to take a break, and we will be back. We're talking to Scott and Zachary Green about the Bay Region Fencing Alliance, and we'll have more on that when we return.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntyre. See, it's every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
At Staples, school is always in session, and savings never take a holiday, especially now during Staples Teacher Palooza. You save big on everything for school, like 25% on classroom decor and stickers, up to 40% on brands like Post-it, Papermate, and Elmer's. Plus, 2-ounce bottles of Purell hand sanitizer are just 49 cents during Staples Teacher Palooza. So do you with classroom deals for everybody. But deals end soon, so hurry to Staples today. Offers end 3/11. In-store only while supplies last.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's ACY.
You have the chance to win a $1,000 gift certificate to a business of your choice. It's the WSGW Home Improvement Contest presented by the Saginaw Home Builders Association. Enter online at WSGW.com. When you enter, you choose the business you would use your $1,000 gift certificate if you're drawn as the winner. Businesses include Reamer Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, Bay Landscaping, M&R Garage Door and Openers, Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery, Midland Sand Company, The Tech Laboratory, All Seasons Heating and Cooling, Delta Door Sales, Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center, Roof Max, Patriot Carpet Cleaning, Clients, Hartel Heating and Cooling, Westside Decorating Center, Big Ick Nursery and Garden Center, Mid-Michigan Garage Door, Bonifant Cabinetry, Woolfiles Ace Hardware. The Home Improvement Contest presented by the Saginaw Home Builders Association. Deadline to enter is March 24th. Enter online at WSGW.com.
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis program. We're talking to Scott and Zachary Green from the Bay Region Fencing Alliance. So let's talk about that youngster, or if you will, that first-time fencing person. They come to the Alliance to learn. What do they need to start, and when do lessons start?
All they really need to come with is just a pair of long pants, protect their legs, and we will provide the rest. And an attitude willing to learn. The next class
that's probably important. The attitude willing to learn, right?
absolutely. The next classes start May 2nd.
And what does it cost to take lessons?
For the first fencer in any household, it's $100, and then each additional fencer in that household, it's half price, down to $50.
And what does that cover when you say $100? What does that cover?
That covers 8 weeks of lessons with all the gear provided.
Well, that's the whole thing.
That's
That's fairly reasonable.
Yeah, we think so.
And what, is it once a week you go, or?
Yep, once a week. Comes to, what is that? A little around $12.
Yeah, it's relative. Considering you're providing all the equipment and everything, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a website people can go to get more information about the Alliance?
Yeah, it's just our name. It's www.bayregionalfencingalliance.com, all one word.
And on there, can they register, or do they have to get in touch with you directly to register?
No, you can register for classes there, pay for there through PayPal.
And what about donations? Since you're a 501c3, I assume you accept those.
Absolutely. So I don't know if that's available through the website. Honestly, I'd have to check on that. But yeah, you can always get a hold of us for a donation.
So Zachary, what's ahead in terms of competition for you? Do you still compete?
I do still compete. Yeah. I plan on fencing in our home tournament actually in the upcoming weeks. It is memorial tournaments for our old coach.
And how many groups show up? I mean, do you bring groups from all over, or is it just an internal tournament?
We bring clubs from West Michigan in Grand Rapids, down south in the Plymouth, Detroit, Ann Arbor area. And we even bring people. Traverse City, yeah.
Is that open to the public to come and watch?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your location again, Scott?
It's 8390 Midland Road.
8390 Midland Road.
Right in Freeland.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And
you know what? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Jack.
But our upcoming events can be found on our website as well.
And when are you there that if somebody was interested, wanted to come and see the facility, when is somebody there to do that?
So that's Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursday evenings from 6 till 8. If you just want to come in and check us out, feel free. You can stop in and just say hi and watch.
Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, 6 to 8.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, listen, good luck with it. It's a fascinating sport to watch. I've never participated. Don't know that I would, but at my age. But that's one of those sports you're never too old, I guess. It's
no, it's not actually. There was a lady that came out. I believe she's a professor at Michigan State. She came out to her tournament this past weekend, and she just started fencing, and she's in her early 80s. So,
there's hope for me. All right, Scott, Zach, thanks for being with us today. Again, the Bay Region Fencing Alliance. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Art.
Thanks again for having us.
Yep, you bet. Bye-bye now. Zach and Scott Green from the Bay Region Fencing Alliance, and we thank them very much for joining us today. We'll be back to close out after these notes.
Don't wait until spring to make your money grow into an 18-month certificate account that will make you 5% APY. Yes.